Welcome back, everybody, to Leading Experts. I'm Graison Foster. Thanks for joining me. My guests today are Deborah and Daryl Dougal. This husband and wife team are two of the top real estate professionals in Vancouver, Washington, and they are with me today talking about how their company, Enlightened Property Solutions, is helping dozens of families get into a home they can own quickly and easily, even if they didn't think they could afford one or qualify for a bank loan. All right, you also work with credit repair companies to help buyers, right? So what do you do there?
Well, a lot of times people that are buying a house are credit challenged, as we mentioned before, and it's difficult for them to realize their American dream of owning a house. Well, what we can do is we work with a mortgage broker who's also a credit repair specialist.
Great.
And so he can sit down with the person and say basically, all right, if Daryl gets you in a rent-to-own situation or something like that, you pay him every month on time, that'll be good. And then he says, okay, after he's analyzed and looked at them, we'll say, okay, and you need to do this and this and this and change your way of doing this. Because we find a lot of times, Graison, that a lot of people really have never had a course in personal financial management. You know, either in high school or college is really in depth.
Right.
And so he can sit down with them and tell them some of the things they need to do to clean up their act, change things. And then, on top of that, then he can actually go in their credit bureau report and contest things. There's some things in there that just aren't accurate, or some things that may be very old. Now, if somebody's going to say, we can totally correct your credit and all that kind of thing, you know, you may want to shy away from those kind of people. And so anyway, what he tells us, with all the many people he's dealt with, usually about after 8 to 12 months, if people are paying us on time, they're fixing up those things in their personal financial life that he tells them to, and then he can maybe get a few things corrected on their credit report that they can then qualify for a regular loan from a bank.
To get into their home. Awesome. What does it mean to be a high equity specialist?
Well, we deal oftentimes with a lot of people who own their houses outright, free and clear. And it's really surprising, according to the statistics, about 34% of the homeowners own their houses free and clear, which is really surprising.
Yeah, it is.
The problem oftentimes is if somebody owns their house free and clear and they get the house gets purchased in a traditional real estate transaction, suddenly they get a pot of money. What do they do with that money? For instance, let's say somebody is a landlord and they have a property and they're selling that property. And let's say the property is worth $200,000. So let's say that we buy the property for $200,000. They suddenly get all that money in. But Uncle Sam taps them on the shoulder because a lot of that is taxable. Whereas if we set it up in what's called an installment sale, and if we only pay them, let's say $500 a month, they only get taxed on the money in a given year that they actually receive in that year. So instead of getting taxed on the full $200,000 and getting a bigger tax hit, they're only taxed on that amount. Let's say $500 a month times 12 months, that's $6,000. They would only be taxed on that $6,000 a year. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm a certified public accountant, but I don't practice public accounting, so I have to be sure and tell your viewers and also people that deal with us that anything that we may be saying here or in person shouldn't be taken as tax advice or accounting advice or financial planning advice or legal advice. They will want to talk to their accountant or attorney.
But at least you bring to the table that background and experience and knowledge, which is great.
And so we can deal with those people and set it up, and basically it's owner financing, and owner financing has been around for forever. Where we can set it up where, like I say, we pay those people on a regular basis, and then maybe at the end of a given period of years, we may then give them a nest egg, you know, whatever is left of that original amount. Now,
with respect to the installment sale, is this something that perhaps people getting close to retirement might want to get into and explore that option?
Oh, definitely, that's true. Because what I just described is not an annuity, but it's kind of like an annuity, where they're getting a steady, stable stream of money every single month. And that money could go towards a new car payment for oftentimes people that are retiring. Oh, I don't know if we can afford a car, but that could go to pay a car payment. A lot of people may be getting out of their house and downsizing to a condo or a retirement facility, and it could go towards their monthly payment in those places. And you know, a lot of times we hear the statistics that when somebody wins the lottery, a good proportion of those people, within a couple of years, the money's gone. And so this is a way for the people to get a steady, stable income every month for quite a while.
Now you also work with private lenders. So for our viewers that don't know, what exactly is a private lender and how does that work then?
The private lending is really exciting. When we buy houses and pay cash, we use private lenders for those funds. It means it saves a whole lot of time. We don't have to wait for a bank loan or all those kinds of things. But the great thing for the private lender is we're able to pay them a steady fixed rate of return on their investment, and it's secured by the property. It's secured by the house, through the mortgage, through the homeowner's insurance and title insurance and all those things. So it's an opportunity for people to get a much better return than people are getting right now in the stock market or typical bank rates on the different accounts they have. So it's steady and it's secured by the property, and it's a great way for people to have a passive investment in real estate for a part of their portfolio.
Now certainly you have dealt with every situation from divorce to transfers to family needs, etc., right? I mean, you've really kind of run the gamut in your business.
Oh, we really have.
Yeah.
And one thing for your viewers too, that we have a special report that people can go onto our website and email us and ask for it, or go onto our 800 number.
Right.
And one is a report on how they can sell their house as is. They don't have to fix it up, and they can sell it as is,
right,
very quickly and easily. And then we have a 5-page report that they can ask for about how they can qualify for a house without a big bank loan, without qualifying for a bank loan.
Right. I've got your 2 reports here, the as-is and the without bank qualification report here. You guys, I'm out of time. This was great. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Appreciate you inviting us,
Lovely to see you both again. Thanks. Thanks for watching this edition of Leading Experts, everybody. We'll see you next time.